Imagine this. A man wakes up every morning at exactly 6 o'clock. He drinks the same coffee, takes the same road to work, laughs at the same jokes, avoids the same conversations, dreams the same dreams, fears the same fears. For 30 years, nothing changes. One afternoon, while cleaning his late father's attic, he discovers an old wooden box. Inside it is a letter. On the front, only 5 words are written. For the person you've become. Confused? He opens it. Inside is a single sentence. Everything you believe about yourself, who taught it to you? He freezes. For the first time in his life, he doesn't have an answer. Because until that moment, it had never occurred to him that the voice inside his head might not actually be his. What if the greatest prison in the world is not built from concrete, but from ideas? Ideas repeated so often that they stopped sounding like opinions and started sounding like truth. Tonight, we are walking into that prison. When we imagine a prison, we picture steel bars, locked doors, concrete walls, armed guards. But history has always known something deeper. The strongest prison is the one whose prisoners don't know that they are inside. Centuries ago, the philosopher Plato imagined humanity chained inside a cave, watching shadows on a wall and believing those shadows were reality. Today, the caves look different, the shadows have changed, but the chains are still there. Only now, they are invisible. A child enters the world with astonishing openness. No fear of failure, no shame, no status, no labels, no belief that one dream is too big. The child simply explores, touches, questions, imagines. Then the world begins to speak. Be careful. People like us don't do that. Money changes people. Don't embarrass yourself. Stop asking so many questions. Every sentence seems harmless. But the human brain is extraordinary. It doesn't just hear repeated messages. It builds them into reality. Imagine a sculptor working on marble. One strike of the hammer changes almost nothing. 2 strikes, still nothing. 100 strikes, the statue finally begins to appear. Childhood works the same way. No single comment defines us, but thousands of tiny experiences shape the person staring back from the mirror. A teacher laughs when you answer incorrectly. A parent compares you to someone else. A friend rejects you. A stranger humiliates you. Each moment seems small, yet together they become the invisible sculptor of identity. Years later, we introduce ourselves using the sculptor someone else carved. I've never been good enough. I'm just shy. I'm unlucky. I'm bad with money. I am not leadership material. Notice something. Most people never say, I learned to believe this. They simply say, this is who I am. Psychologists call them schemas. Neuroscientists speak of predictive processing. Carl Jung described the unconscious as the hidden force directing much of our lives until we bring it into awareness. Different language, same truth. Your mind doesn't simply record reality. It interprets it. And once it accepts a story, it begins searching for evidence that confirms it. Imagine buying a red car. Suddenly, red cars appear everywhere. They were always there. Your attention simply changed. Belief works exactly the same way. If you believe people cannot be trusted, your mind quietly collects every betrayal and ignores every act of kindness. If you believe success belongs to others, your brain notices every failure and quietly dismisses every opportunity. The prison is not outside. The prison has become the lens. There is an old story. An eagle's egg falls into a chicken's nest. It hatches among chickens. It scratches the dirt. It flaps awkwardly. It never looks upward. Years later, another eagle circles ahead. The chickens panic, but the eagle on the ground feels something strange. Not fear, recognition. For the first time, it realizes the sky has been calling all along. Nothing changed about the wings, only what it believed they were meant to do. How many people live exactly like that? Born with extraordinary potential, yet imprisoned by ordinary expectations. Every prison has one weakness. It depends on your agreement. The moment you stop saying, "This is who I am," and begin asking, "Where did this belief come from?" the first crack appears. Awareness is rarely dramatic. It begins quietly. One question, one conversation, one book, one difficult truth. And suddenly, the walls you've lived inside your entire life begin to look less like stone and more like smoke. Tonight, before you sleep, take a blank sheet of paper. Write down 3 beliefs you have followed for years. Then ask, who first taught me this? Is it universally true? What evidence challenges it? Who might I become if I released it? Don't rush to answer. Some prisons take years to build. They deserve more than 5 minutes to dismantle. Perhaps freedom was never about escaping the world. Perhaps it has always been about escaping the stories that quietly shaped the way we see it. The invisible prison has no guards, no locks, and no chains. Only beliefs waiting to be questioned. And perhaps the key you spent your whole life searching for was never hidden. It was simply covered by everything you were told to believe. Because every chapter is a question. Together, they tell one story. Until our next question, keep questioning.